Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video from Charlie Kirk, and it's titled The Ultimate Men in Women's Sports Debate. You guys, I'm super excited for this. If you're here to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
You put a lot of focus on Leah Thomas and that whole situation. However, what about all of the other trans athletes that don't make it to the top? Because I unfortunately don't have a list of every trans athlete known to man. I didn't fully prepare, but what about all of the, because Leah Thomas is one case out of many. So what about the other trans athletes that have transitioned and do participate in sports but don't make it to the top and are middle of the pack?
Well, they're still beating other women, aren't they? They're taking somebody's
That's the ultimate question. Yeah.
No,
but
they are women.
Okay,
they have
so,
transitioned.
So let's ask a question. So thank you for being here and the courage for talking. First of all, what is a woman? Let's start there.
Well, as she said, anyone who identifies as such, and traditionally it would be gender dysphoria. That is a legitimate medical condition. So if you have gender dysphoria, yes.
Okay, so that's interesting. So that's your personal definition of what a woman is. Why should society adopt that definition, therefore disenfranchising chromosomal-born women?
Really, it's out of respect for those that have the condition.
Got it. So we should elevate the people with the mental condition over half the population.
No.
Yeah, good question.
Not at all. I'm just saying that we should just simply, because it's not a battle between I'm elevating this person over another person. It's merely out of respect for that person, for them to feel comfortable and to participate in the sport of, their gender that they identify as.
Okay, so feeling comfortable. So giving people what they want is not always the right thing. Okay? So let me give you an example. We do not give liposuction to people with anorexia. People with anorexia would want liposuction. It would kill them. We know better than that.
Yeah.
So just giving people what they want is not always the right thing. So you say to make people comfortable. We could probably agree. I don't want people to be uncomfortable. But then you have the choice to make. What if all of a sudden you're making half the population uncomfortable and the sport itself is all of a sudden being destroyed and standards as we know it are completely destroyed? So let me ask you a question. If someone, and I don't want to assume your gender, you could tell me whatever it is dealing with that situation, why don't they continue to compete as that new gender with the people with their chromosomes that they share?
Simple.
Because they don't identify as such. And I actually, I'm really glad you brought up the example with the, I'm sorry, could I steer the conversation back towards what you said about comfort?
But let me ask you another question. So how people identify matters a lot to you, right?
Yes,
correct?
Of course.
Okay, so should we allow adults who identify as toddlers compete in preschool soccer?
No.
Why?
They identify as a child. We want them to be comfortable.
No, because that's not a legitimate mental.
Yeah,
that's not
absolutely is. No, that's a real thing. Having people think that they're in a different body is a real thing. People think that they're dogs, people think that they're cats, and some people think they're children still. They never grow out of it. It's a legitimate mental condition. So shouldn't we accommodate fully grown 50-year-old men who want to play t-ball?
Well, no, because they require a different treatment plan. And this is what I wanted to steer back to.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
I wanted to steer back towards what we talked about with comfort. It is shown, and this is legitimate, those who transition and are treated as the gender that they identify as mentally improve unbelievably, and it is absolutely true.
So I hate to break it to you. They're more likely to commit suicide. There's a huge community called Transition Regret. I encourage you to look at it. It has 27,000 members on Facebook of people who make the chemical castration decision to transition, and that's an irreversible decision. It's a growing group of people that say, I was sold a complete bill of goods here. And so, that really is the question, which is, if it's irreversible, and you're citing some study that honestly, the data shows exactly the opposite, is that they're more likely to commit suicide, more likely for self-harm, all these sorts of things. What is the proper way to treat it?
As I said, the study has not been disproven. The reason that the suicide rate is so high is because they are bullied for who they are.
See,
I have seen it.
This is not.
Why, you guys? I totally disagree with what this guy said right here. People do not commit suicide because they are being bullied, but because the situation they find themselves is irreversible. If they can undo what has been done to them, I bet most of these people will not self-exit. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'm really having fun with this debate, but let me know whose side you are on, and let's wrap this video up, you guys.
In school, and this is a truth.
And you know why I know it's nonsense? Because every single person in this room disagrees with you fundamentally and is treating you incredibly respectfully tonight. That is a pile of garbage. I know it's a pile of garbage.
Of course.
And so, instead, and I'll be honest, it's the people that are in those positions that end up becoming the bullies themselves, that kick me off of Twitter. That's, and no offense, but kind of your team is the one that's super, like, offended that I used a name that Levine used to have. Like, who's the bully in this situation?
Well, it's disrespectful to do that because she identifies as a woman. And it is just disrespect. That is why I can't speak for everyone else. I can only speak for myself at the end of the day, right? And it's just disrespectful. And it is not right to call Leah Thomas her dead name, out of respect for her.
Levine or whatever. But let me zero in on this, right? So it's a birth name, whatever you could call it, a dead name. It's fine. But if I were to do a biography on Thomas, and I would include that name, how is that disrespectful? Isn't that, like, let's take your argument at face value. Wouldn't that be a journey of transition, a courageous movement towards who you really are? Like an uplifting kind of sort of story and saga from the man I used to be and the woman I am now? How's that disrespectful?
Oh, well, in that context, probably.
So dead naming's now okay. I mean, maybe my tweet was all about the courageous journey of Ricardo Levine that once was named Richard and now name is Rachel. Do you see what's getting here is that you're putting a lot of preference on context and on how I identify and all of this. And your opinions, you can have your opinions. But what we're talking about tonight is how we structure society, right? And that is a totally different thing than your opinion. So when we start to structure society on a vast minority opinion, and we start to use power and force around that vast minority of an opinion, all of a sudden, the only way you can win that argument is the person who wins the oppression Olympics. Is the person who says, I'm the most victimized, therefore I get to create the rules because I'm not comfortable. And here's something that you might not want to hear, is that if you have liberty, by definition, you're not going to be comfortable. You cannot have liberty and comfort. You can't have them together. Instead, you know what? And I think deep down you have this in you. You can get stronger. And I want you to get stronger. Instead of you trying to remove everything that offends you in the world, I want you to dig deeper and be tougher than the people around you. That's what we believe. Final thought. Final thought. Yeah.
Oh, final thought. Sorry. Trying to think of a final thought. At the end of the day, like, no hate towards you. I respect your opinion. Of course, like, I'm not here to, cause a fight or an intense argument. I'm just saying I disagree. And there is no oppression Olympics. All that, we want is simply just recognition and respect. That's really it.
Well, look,
truthfully.
Here's the thing, is that that's what you want. And individually, I think I've given that to you. But here's where I draw the line. I'm not going to restructure society on something I know that's not true. I'm not going to turn my back on 50% of the population for something that's not true. And I'm certainly not going to call somebody a pronoun that I know that isn't true in front of me. So I believe your soul totally demands respect. Absolutely, 100%. But as soon as you then start to get into society and civilization and restructure everything around your feelings, then all of a sudden it's whoever has the loudest voice and who's willing to use power. And that's where we as conservatives draw the line. I want to thank you for being here tonight, truly.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting debate. Let me know your thoughts on this particular one. Do you agree with this guy or you are on Charlie Kirk's side? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I really enjoyed every minute of it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.